And what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Brickhead family. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have reached the Brickhead family here on YouTube. And usually it's Let's Chat Wednesday. It is Let's Chat Wednesday, but we're missing chat. So it's just Chit here tonight. Daddy B here holding down the fort. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. Welcome. I do have invites out. This is an invite type of stream. I am going to be building the third level of the corner garage here. So Stud Sidious is in the chat. We have Nessie in the chat. We have Dude Jude in the chat. Welcome. Yeah, what we're going to be doing here tonight is we're going to be, like I said, building this, and let's hear what you guys have going on this week. Any kind of Lego news you want to talk about. But we're also going to talk about movies, preferably 80s movies. And man, my shirt is wrinkly. You guys see that? My shirt is so wrinkled. Chaser, hello. Camping out at Brunlet Island State Park while it's raining, so nothing much to do. No, we had a ton of rain here. What was it, 2 days ago? We had actually tornadoes. We had 2 tornadoes that were here in Rockford. Wrinkles and irons are overrated, right? Yeah, look at this. It looks like, yeah. So you guys get a wrinkly shirt, Daddy Brickhead here tonight. Studs, yes, I did send you a message on Instagram. I need your email address so I can send you this link. If you would like to do that, sir. I do have some links out to some friends. So if you guys want to hop in and whatnot, but you don't have to. But yeah, I'm going to set this over to the side here so I can do all this stuff. Nessie was sitting right there in the tornado. So yeah, luckily enough, she got out of it without any harm. So I'll just put the corner garage there. And like I said, I am opening up bags 5 right here. Let's get that nasty mouse out of the way. There was a Durancho that went through the Illinois area with 5 confirmed tornado touchdowns. Wind gusts were measured at 100. Yep. One tornado had wind gusts of 100, and the other one had a wind gust of like 85 or something like that. I think that's what the official numbers were on those. But luckily enough, Vanessa pulled off to the side and got underneath a bridge. So she was smart on her side there. All right, so mind my reach and stuff here. I'm going to send out an email here real quick. All right. All right, so hopefully this is right. That's right. We are a professional YouTube channel. All right. So hopefully I typed that all in right. We'll see. So I got an invite out there to Stud Sidious because he brought up the point of where he started talking 80s horror movies and stuff yesterday during Hinkle stream. I'm like, dude, you gotta bring that to tonight's stream. If there's anything that I love to talk about is movies. I'm not huge into the sci-fi stuff, but you get me into some of those cheesy horror flicks, I will talk to you for days about those. Cheesier the horror movie, the better. That's why if you guys have streaming services out there, and you like bad cheesy movies, go and check out Shudder. Shudder is a freaking awesome streaming service that has a ton of old bad movies. So you guys can check those out. Yeah, it looks like I'm a little dark here tonight. I'm gonna adjust my stuff here real quick. There, does that look a little bit better? All right. All right. No. Whoa, that really brightened it up. All right. I'll leave it at that. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. All right, there. Just a little bit more color added to it. But yeah, you guys actually get no bed music here tonight. So I know a lot of you people out there will be happy about that. And I am not building I'm not building Nintendo tonight either. So we will have a ton of fans out there now. Because a lot of people disliked the amount of Nintendo stuff we have been doing over the last couple weeks. I've heard your complaints, people. I've heard it. My neighbor is like yelling. I don't know what's going on. I'm guessing the Cubs must be doing good right now. My neighbors are yelling. Usually you could tell when the Cubs are doing good. My neighbors get pretty irate over there. They get all fired up about them there Cubbies. But, yep. How's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Everyone survived all this rain and stuff that was going on. Oh yeah, Critters. I am all about Critters. I've not seen. I think they came out with a reboot of Critters. I have not seen the reboot of Critters. But yeah, the old school Critters movies were freaking awesome. I was a huge fan of those. With the alien, the shape-shifting, what do you want to call them? Not bodyguards, bounty hunters. Let me know in the chat if you guys have ever seen Critters. These creepy little ball things that would eat everyone. So what's up? Yay, no music, says Dude Jude. Yep. All for you, Dude Jude. All for you. So hopefully everyone's doing well. Yes, I have, Nick. Ooh, look at that. Dude Jude has seen some bad horror movies. Those are the kind of movies that are so bad that they're good. I am a huge fan of, like I said, of really bad movies. So if you guys can check out Shudder, go and download. I think it's only like $5 or $6 a month for Shudder, and you get some really bad, cheesy horror flicks with it. I'm constantly watching it. And Joe Bob's Drive-In Theater, they brought that back, and that's on Shudder. So I watched that as well. Joe Bob Briggs, where he talks about some of the movies and gives some insights on them and all that fun stuff. So, hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, struggling here. All right, where am I missing a bag of 1x1s? I think I am. That's gonna suck. Where are you? All right, don't mind me. I'm gonna be digging through here trying to find this 1x1. Oh, there it is. Figure you have one in the entire 6 bags that are here. No, we do have a.
What is good?
What's up, special guest Stud Sidious? What's going on?
Sorry, I'm trying to get lighting in my place.
I was gonna say, are you in the black hole?
Yeah, I wish I was in the black hole all day with enough customer emails. Nick, wait, that Niners jab in there. I got it.
Yeah, it's no problem.
But yeah, no, my place has a ton of light. It's everywhere I try to sit in the corner has no light.
I just thought you were taking that Raider fan thing to the extreme and actually sitting in the black hole.
I let those idiots take it to the extreme. Sorry, Raider. I'm not one of those idiots. That's the thing. It's so funny because they like when it comes. I don't want to get on sports ball talk, but it's like people always jab me, and it's like, yeah, I live in New York. I'm not from California, so I really don't care.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I get that all the time. You know, I'm in Chicago, and I'm kind of like in the spot where I'm like in Bear/Packer country.
Yeah, so, you're in the middle. Yeah.
So, you know, I always get, why are you a 49er fan? Why aren't you a Bear fan or a Packer fan? I'm like, because I don't like those sucky teams.
Yeah, I get the same thing. Oh, you're the Giants and the Jets. And it's like the Patriots because I'm the same position. I'm right. I could pick one of those three teams. And no, thank you. Right? No, thank you.
Now, just because I grew up here and live here doesn't mean I have to like the local team. You know, yeah, I'm a Cubs fan, but, you know that's my local.
I even pull for the Cubs, man. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not like a diehard baseball fan at all. Obviously, though, I grew up in the area and I've worked for the Yankees, a bunch of the teams around here. So business-wise, yes, I'd love it from a marketing advertising standpoint, but I'm like, I love to see the Cubs win. I would love to see them, like, you know, when they did win, I was so happy. But like, I would like to see them be successful. Like, that's one of those teams that I like the underdog. So,
oh, definitely, yep. And you know, right now, you know, with a shortened season as it is, Cubs are killing everyone right now.
Yeah, this season's been so weird. It's so weird. Everything's so weird right now.
We got Bluegrass saying fly the W for the Cubbies, of course. Then I believe be a Bills fan. Was it who said that? Be a Bills fan, the only team in New York State, says Darth Hall.
That he is right though. That is like all these Yankees and are not Yankees. The Jets and Giants fans saw all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, technically, you guys are in New Jersey. Technically, you're in New Jersey.
Yeah, Bluegrass says, "Go Packers, fudge the Bears." Oh, well, we see everyone drawing their line out there. Brick Revolution is out there as well. Brickish and Brett's Builds. Thank you guys for tuning in here tonight.
How are these people hating on you for your Nintendo? Like, that's what I don't understand. That's a little crazy.
Yeah, there was a few comments out there that people were like, you know, it seems like you guys are really going heavy on Nintendo right now. I'm like, well, that's what is out there to buy, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, I would like to get like the new Harry Potter stuff and that, but I don't have that option.
I couldn't believe when you were talking about Critters, like not too many people. That's like an old movie where people are like, if you know it, you know it. Like,
definitely.
It's just like GoBots and Transformers. Like Critters was like the ghetto Gremlins at the time. It was awesome. It was, and they made a few of them. So that was such a cool movie.
Yeah, I think they just now brought Critters back. I want to say that they had a new movie come out. I think it was like a direct to streaming service or something like that.
I need to check that out then, because please tell me you know the House movies with the guy from Night Court Bull.
Oh, definitely. Yep.
Yeah. Big Ben, and he came out. Yeah, those movies too. When you bring those up, people are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You've never heard of those movies?"
I think it was House 2 that had the pizza in it that had the pizza face.
Yeah,
and that was one of the things like growing up as a kid that always stuck in my mind was that pizza face from House 2. Yeah, Hoosier says, Nick, I am late. Who is your guest? This is Stud Sidious in the dark.
Yeah, I'm gonna move in a second. I had to go walk the dog and all that. I'll go to the office portion where there's light.
But yeah, it's weird how, you know, some movies growing up as a kid just kind of stuck with you, and just a few of the scenes like that is like, okay, well, that's disturbing.
Yeah, those movies are like, that's like really random old stuff, like Critters, House, like Batteries Not Included was another random one, even though it was big time producers that made it. And that's not even horror. That was just more on the pop culture side, but. Mm-hmm. Like when I describe critters to people, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "They were these little roly balls of fur, and they would shoot spines out of them, and they were poisonous." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then there's these bounty hunters that can change their faces that come from space, and they're like,
right,
huh?
right. And they take the form of like whoever they look at, and the one didn't he transform into like a Playboy model or something like that?
Yeah. One of them transformed into the girlfriend.
I'm like, man, this is the kind of schlock I like.
Yeah.
I actually sat in. A friend of mine does a podcast where that's what we do. We sit down and we watch really bad movies, like old horror movies, and then we talk about them. Not kind of riffing, not kind of like a Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
But we'll review it, and we go down. He's got like a bar in his basement, and he's got this big old movie theater thing he's got down there. So we'll go down there, have a few beers, and get toasty and talk bad horror movies.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Even that wasn't when we were kids. That wasn't bad though. That's what we had. So
yeah, exactly.
It was, and now though I do look back and I'm like, oh man, they could have done so. Especially being a professional in like the commercial industry, like making TV commercials. You could do this better, that better, but it's like I appreciate it for what it was. Like those movies were so cool.
So Brett's Build says the Brickhead family. So thoughts on Elvira? Elvira is my girl. I am a huge Elvira fan. I actually have. I bought this from Citizen Brick. It's the Elvira figure.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. I'm upset I missed. They had the and I'm sure you're a Jason fan. They made it. I missed it, and it had the 3D, the molded mask that goes on the minifig. So,
yeah, I missed out because they were actually supposed to go to Brick Fair, New Jersey last October, because that's when they released those. And I was going to buy one when I got to Jersey because I was working Brick Fair, and they didn't show up. They had something happened where they didn't get there, and by the time I realized this. They were all sold out, so they were all gone, unfortunately.
Yeah, that I can't I don't even know where to get one in the after. People say, "Oh, it Citizen Brick in the aftermarket, it just goes up," which is fine. I'll pay the extra money because it's retired or whatever from their series, but it's impossible to find. I even reach out to them, and I bring figures for some of these vendors, and it's like, yo, I just want to get my hand. I'll pay the money, but it's so hard to find it, and it's like, come on, like.
And the thing is though, is that like Citizen Brick, they sell out so fast in their stuff. Why don't you produce more? Isn't that like printing money?
Yeah. Well, that's like when I did that, I did the white battle damaged Boba Fett for Nash Vegas bricks. And I told him, I'm like, this is going to sell like crazy. And he didn't prepare either. I was like, no one has it. It's drawn just like Lego draws it, but it's printed on Lego the whole nine. It was custom and those sold out poof. And people hit me up and I'm like, I'm not the guy selling it. But I feel for them because I want the same thing Citizen has, and it's the same kind of position. Yeah. So it's, I try to tell these people, I'm like, yo, this is going to sell really fast. Just buy it while it's there. And I only have one myself, and I designed the thing, but I'm searching for that Jason one. So I look on eBay all the time.
Yeah.
That thing is like Ghost. And it came out last year. When did it come out?
It was last October was when it came out. And then, poof, it was gone. It was gone fast.
Blaze said the same thing. Blaze is like, oh, this is one of the custom figs I bought. And I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to get that. And he's like, yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was being realistic. I get it.
I really liked how they did the molded mask on it. That was really
cool. It was awesome to have like the little 3D mask on top of it. I have a few that are just printed on the minifig head, which is cool.
Yeah. I got like the custom printed ones like this.
Yeah, I had that one. Yep. Yeah, that one's awesome.
But
it's cool. That one's awesome too. Don't get me wrong. I love that one. But
that printed like that mask popping out was really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. When I saw that, I was just like, come on, like that was, and Lego's never will ever do anything like that. So,
Yeah, exactly. That's why, people like Eclipse Graphics and, Citizen Brick, they can go out there and print these and charge you $25 for one figure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to on the aftermarket, where does that go? You know, like there's some light right there. Well, like where can I find it on the app? People say, oh, it holds its value. I mean, I'm not concerned about making money off of it. I just want
I just want it for my collection.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, where do you go to find Citizen Brick on the aftermarket? Because I go to eBay and I can't find it. So it's like, where else do you go?
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they're going to pay the $25 to get it, and then they'll hold on to it. But they were actually at Philly Brick Fest last year when I went to Philly Brick Fest, and they had made the, I don't know, what is that, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, and they were limiting it to like 5 figures per person to buy them. And I had someone come up to me, gave me a $20 tip to go up, and you know, they gave me the money for 5 more figures because they wanted 5 more of them. Mm-hmm. So they gave me the money. I went and bought them 5, and they gave me a $20 tip for doing it. So
hey, but I would do the same thing. Though. That's what I mean. Is like if I knew where to find the Citizen Brick that run of Jason, I would go. I even wrote them and said, hey, I would buy it in every version you have. Just tell me where is the aftermarket for it.
Darth Hall said it was Gritty. Gritty is the name of the mascot. I'm not a huge hockey fan, so you know that one kind of was like, okay, maybe I probably should have picked it up because I guess it goes for pretty good money. So, but then again, I'm not the one that can turn around and sell the stuff. You know, I'm one thing because I'm a huge action figure collector. So you know, I collect like the He-Man and was it the Spawn and the McFarlane figures, and I hated being one short of a collection than going on and seeing what people are charging for that one that I'm looking for, where, you know, I could buy the entire line for the price of what one of these chase figures that they have that people go out and, you know, collect up.
So that brings up the Seth MacFarlane or Todd McFarlane. I love Todd McFarlane, all his like Spawn. I was a huge Image Comics in the 80s when Marvel and DC, the young artists said that basically like they flipped off the big corporation, started their own company. And yeah, granted, like they were all like X-Men was basically they did their version of that. They did their version of Spider-Man. Pitt was Hulk, vice versa. But Spawn stuck out, and Spawn was like Todd McFarlane's baby. How do you feel about when he did? I recently found out from Family Bricks he made like a Lego version because his toys were awesome.
Oh,
he
yeah,
made like a Lego version of things, and I heard it didn't go so well.
No, he didn't. And I think he actually had a couple of things. I think he did the Lego version of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what I was talking about with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there was another one. I think it was Rick. Was it the Rick and Morty?
It could have been. It sounds like the more popular things, obviously, is what he.
Yeah, did. Yeah, and you know, I ended up seeing them at like Walmart on clearance for like 50 cents or something. I still didn't even pick them up. That's how bad they were.
People said they were like overly done, and I like to like even with my Lego mocks, and I've been making Lego mocks. When I was a kid, I was one of 5 children. My mother was an artist. There was no sets. You threw it everything you got on your birthday. You built a set, and then it goes in the bin. It was a huge bin. So you made mocks I made mocks. So even nowadays, you can see on my Instagram page, I like to polish it off, and there's no studs showing. But that's years of experience from like being a professional artist. And I heard that his stuff, ironically, because he's one of my favorite artists ever, was too finished off, and that's why people didn't like it. It was too polished of a Lego set.
Yeah.
Did you get that vibe from it? Because
because you know, even the pieces like if you got like a fence piece, it was like all, you know, how you get a Lego fence piece, it's one solid color.
Yeah.
You got a fence piece, and it was like, you know, it looked like it was spray painted, so it's got different shadings and stuff with that, and it looked like you were putting together more of a like a model kit, rather than a brick building kit.
Yeah, I get you. I know what you're saying. The system, there was no system. It was
it was just like you got pieces for a fence, and that's the only thing you're going to build with that is a fence. You know.
See, that's my favorite thing about Lego is even the little Garbage Pail Kids brickhead I did. I used orange leaves to make his head blowing open. Like,
yeah, that was really cool.
But thank you. But that's what I love so much about Lego is that you can use the interpretation of pieces is what I love the most about Lego, and that it seems like, and I'm a huge Todd McFarlane fan, and I never got into that part of his stuff, like and especially being a Lego fan, I should have. But everyone says that it's like crossover stickers, prefabbed. It was all like,
yeah, it was definitely weird. And somebody who said, Darth Hall said, I'm pretty sure South Park was South Park was another one of their little lines that they did. But once again, that didn't go too far. I think at one point I seen what's that principal, whatever the principal guy was from South Park. My Walmart had about 50 of them right on the shelf.
Oh, Principal Skinner.
No, it was Principal PC or PC Principal or whatever his name was. The guy with the glasses or like the sunglasses. So I'm like, so you know, they made. Yeah, he probably lost his bank on that, and then all of a sudden he starts, you know, at one point he killed his sports lines because he tried to ended up charging like $25 a figure for one of them. Like when he first came out, there was like $10 for a figure, and then he jumped them up to like $25, and that's when I gave up on him. Like, dude, I'm not paying $300 for, you know, a set of 4 figures that you have already released before. You just alternated the jersey colors.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's how production works. I mean, Lego does that right now. Everyone complains about it, but they do it in a creative manner. But that's what I mean. That's the beauty of it, though, is what you can make from their parts. At least they designate. They don't cross stickers over anymore, and they don't make 2 pieces that have to equal a certain thing. Like they let you decide what you want to do with it. So
the Lego guy just brought up a good point here. It says Lego's giving away the Monty Mole set for free. The funny part is most stores ran out of starter pack. He said he found a loophole, but when I went to go get the starter pack, they had run out of the starter packs because I went there on release day because I was going to get a second starter pack just for that mole set, and then they had a whole bin of these mole sets, you know, just sitting in the, behind the counter, but they had no packs to give it away with. I was like, why can't you just sell these? You know, I'll give you a 20 spot. Have this one fall off the back of the shelf.
See, that's the thing that's messed up because promotional marketing, I worked in it for 20 years, and those are like the giveaways things, and they just set them aside, and they're not in the. It's so weird because just like you said, I was like, well, just sell them, and they're like, well, we didn't put them in the system, we didn't inventory. There's so much that goes into those things on the marketing aspect in the back end that it's just like it's frustrating because as a consumer, it's like, all right, well, I get it, and COVID happened, your business plan didn't go the way it went, but can we buy them now? Just like the Bespin or Bespin, the Bespin set from the Star Wars set. It's the same thing. That was supposed to be like a giveaway, and now it's people want it, and it's like just disappeared. It's like Ghost. That was a San Diego Comic-Con set, vice versa. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I want that mole set myself, actually.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I did not plan on, you know, getting the whole Mario collection, but I'm kind of like on that path now. And it's going to make me mad if I don't have the complete collection because Lego couldn't produce enough starter packs to give away the giveaways with, you know?
Exactly. It's ironic because I just said I came from that marketing world and I should not fall for that crap. And I bought the first starter kit because in Target there was 2 left. Then I saw one get swiped. There was 1 left. I'm like, so I just grabbed it. I put away the architecture set. I had an architecture set in my hands, put it down, and grabbed it because that impulse marketing was like, all right, it's the last one. But once I started playing with it, it was just like, wow, Lego really did a great job with this, and it makes you want to buy them all.
And that's what suckered me into it. Is I bought the one, I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, you know? It's really cool. It's really cool.
And then and I drove an hour and a half out of my way that day to go to the Lego store. You know, drove into the city of Chicago where, you know, COVID's running rampant. And, you know, And I'm like, man, I got to go to the Lego store, make sure I get my Monty Mole set. And then boom, it's like denied. It's like, yeah, dang it.
Which that's what I mean from like behind the scenes working in the marketing side. They have thousands, millions of those stacked up somewhere that were their initiative was to get them out through this channel for free to spike a marketing, this and that, analytics. And it failed because of COVID, which is fine. But though that's my point is they're still just sitting there. You could buy one. So that's where everything gets messed up. And
what I don't get is why didn't they offer that mole set with the online orders as well? You know, that's what kind of burnt me, because let's say you live in bumblefuck Egypt, right? And you don't have a Lego store within an 8-hour driving range for you, but you wanted to have the complete collection, but now you can't, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. That's what I mean, because they have a ton of them sitting there. They have just as many stock as the rest of the sets of that. There was a plan for it, and they wanted to use it to, you know, do a marketing strategic thing, and we're going to give it as a giveaway here or there. But that got all messed up. So just now, they should just sell it flat out is what they should do. Just make it, you know, the exclusivity should just go away. But
the Lego guy says the loophole is to go to the store and ask him to purchase it for you online. You can actually get the mole set because you're technically buying the starter pack at the store.
Yeah, that's a good point. That it is, because that's where they're sitting. They're sitting at the stores where they.
Yeah, but isn't it not available online either? I think they're all sold out online as well.
Yeah, but like a week ago, there was no 501st battle packs, and I called Danbury, Connecticut, which I waited at the Danbury. I have 9 Lego stores. I can go to 3 in Long Island, 2 in New York City. Well, 1 burned down, but they fixed it. Shout out to the Bronx. And then you have Jersey has a few. Connecticut has 2. So I went to Danbury, Connecticut, up in the valley, like further up from the coast where I live, all the way from the city in the country to get it. And the day one, there was no line. I was shocked. There was no line. I hit up Kevin. I was like, you think I should wait in line? He's like, there probably be a line. Because Kevin's in Connecticut, but he's near the other store. So, and I take his opinion. He worked there. So I was just like, all right. And I went, and there was no line. And then I got what I needed. I grabbed an NES set. There was no 501st battle packs. But 2 weeks later, I get an alert saying there's more Nintendo sets at that store. The second wave came in. So I went, and there was 12 501st battle packs sitting right on the shelf. Online said there was none. So that just tells you how the system really works, because I was looking right at it, and there was 12 501st battle packs sitting in front of my face, and it said none online. So but that's my point. Is like, even for that mole set, when they do the exclusive thing and the whole marketing plan falls, just sell them. Just sell them.
Yeah, exactly. That I would have bought it for $20 because it's probably like $20, right? $20 market if they were to sell that set like on the shelf. It's $20 set. I would have plopped down $20 for it. Yeah,
that's my point. Is so that it all gets messed up. That's just the way it is. But it would have been a cool exclusive. I mean, it would have, especially Monty Mole is a really random character in the universe. So
yeah. So they're probably like, well, people won't mind if they don't have it unless you're a completist like me.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, I'm the same way, and I worked in marketing, and I fall for that stuff. So that is how it is. But hey, we're collectors, and that's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you know that sticks in my crawl. You know, all of a sudden, I don't have that complete set. And then I'm like, oh man, it's like it's the end of the world or something, even though it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I turned my camera off for a second.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm trying to get
Lego guy says they are on back order for the starter packs. Because what I was going to do is I was going to buy the starter pack at the Lego store. Then I was going to take that starter pack that I just bought and return it to Walmart with the receipt that I had for the original starter pack that I bought like a month before it was released.
Yeah, well, that's you just never know. Like I said, I bought an NES set the first day, and then I go back 2 weeks later, and it just happened to be the second wave had just come in for their shipping. And they had 9 pianos, like 12 501st battle packs. They had Stranger Things set. They had Hogwarts Castle. everything that had been so rare in my area. And I have 9 Lego stores around me, and they all had been wiped out for months during COVID. And then all of a sudden, that second wave of all the leftovers comes in and the new stuff. And it was just like, what the? I'm sitting in the store. I'm sitting in the store looking at them like, it says you have no 501st battle packs, but I'm looking at 12 right now.
Right.
So you just can't ever, you never know. You just got to go sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. The only bad thing is that that's an hour and a half drive for me to go and be, roll that dice. And then it's another hour and a half drive back home being pissed off because they didn't have it in.
Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse. That's why I'm like you. I try to call in advance, and it's just, but you never know. Because like I said, I called and they're like, oh, we can't give you that information over the phone. I'm like, seriously?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I called our store because I'm like, well, I'm coming out, and do you guys still have the starter packs? And they're like, oh, yeah, we have plenty of them. And, I'm like, all right, well, I'll be there because they can't hold it at the store.
Yeah,
so I ended up driving there, and then they're like, oh yeah, we just sold out. I'm like, really? You told me you had a ton of these like an hour ago.
Yeah, they told me to hold it, and I found out the way around the hold it is just buy it over the phone with them right there.
Really?
Yeah, you can just tell me if you have a cool manager, you just say, listen, I'm gonna leave my credit card number right now. I'm gonna buy it right now.
Yeah, because like when they were doing the pickups where you could call the store and then you just drive up to the mall and then you just do the pickup in the parking lot.
Yeah,
that's how I got my Stranger Things set when it was sold out everywhere and all the stores were closed, and they ended up getting the Stranger Things set in Gurney Mills, which is like a 2-hour drive for me, and so I'm like, all right. Can I get it to pick up? And they're like, oh yeah, that's how we're running it. You pay for it over the phone, and then you come by and we'll drop it off at your car. I'm like, well, why couldn't we have done this with the starter pack?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like they're not supposed to do pay over the phone either, but they will, and that's the thing. Because I pulled every card. I mean, I'm disabled. I have a cane when I walk around most of the times. As I said, I'm like, listen, I don't want to drive an hour up into the woods. We just had what Connecticut calls a hurricane, which power was knocked out everywhere. Kevin will tell you all about that. You lose power for 5 days here. It's insane, but. It's ironic. We live right next to the biggest city in the world, and we lose power for 5 days at a time.
Yeah, we have a ton of people in our town without power. We had 2 tornadoes hit down just the other day, and they're saying that they won't get their power back for another, I don't know, week or 2 even. So.
Yeah, it's nuts. But that's the thing. When I went I'm on the shoreline of Connecticut and New York, so I'm right like the little armpit of New Jersey, the tri-state they call it. And if you go up straight up into the mountains, then you go up to upstate New York, Connecticut. We'll go through Connecticut first, and it's like it was treacherous to get to that store just to get that set. Was like everywhere I turned was like Zelda. It was a maze of trees down, power lines down, and your navigation doesn't know how to reroute you because you're in the woods. You're in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, it was like took me like an hour and a half just to get to the Lego store. So I was trying to avoid all that, and the guy was just like, "Yeah, just pay over the phone." And so that's what I learned when I got there. He's like, "You could just pay over the phone." It's like, "Oh, thanks."
All right. I'm sitting here looking for pieces, and I forgot a bag in the box.
Dude, I want so bad. I want Zelda sets, like Peach's Castle, like micro style, like any style.
Oh, definitely.
I know it's coming as long as people. I mean, that's why people like you and I bought the starter pack and they get sucked in. I want all the blind bags. That's the Lego way.
Well, the thing is that every store I go to, they are selling out of all the Mario sets. So it is obviously doing pretty good. But I've actually had to tell a lady that she was buying a present for some kid, some friend of hers, and she picked up the Bowser Castle, and she's like, "Oh, I think he'll like this more than the Harry Potter castle." And I'm like, "Well, if you want to use this set correctly, you have to buy the Mario pack, the starter pack." She's like, "Well, what is that?" I'm like, "You have to have the Mario only comes in this." To activate this stuff. And then she's like, well, that's kind of dumb. So she ended up having to get the starter pack for $60, put that $100 set back on the shelf and ended up picking up, I think, the haunted house, the graveyard set to go with it.
Well, I mean, even as a package designer, like, listen, I live in Connecticut. I've worked on Lego packaging. I've put choking hazards on boxes, and I've inhaled studs. Okay, so like, and I'm the designer putting that on the box. So that I said to Brick Hive, everybody, they're like, "Oh, I went to get this Mario set, and all Brick Hive wanted was the warp pipes to put 2 in his city and have the piranha plant." And he bought, I forget which set it was. And in the little tiny words in the bottom, it says it showed 2 warp pipes on the back, but one of them was a starter kit that you needed. And the way they put it on the box was so just stupid to me that I was just like, for real, like, these parents are not going to know that. Like,
I bet more than anything they're getting a ton of phone calls from.
They definitely are. They definitely, I know they are, because that's what I used to do for a living. I know they are, and they'll change it. They always do. I mean, the next wave, the next quarter, they call it, they'll change the box, and then the messaging will be bigger on there. But they were not clear about the starter pack at all. Like, us people in the know, we're fans, we know. But
yeah, the
parents out there, which is the biggest demographic as to who buys these things, they have no idea. You just said it. You saw it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I was, I'm like, ma'am, you have to do this. And she's like, well, that's dumb. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's how it rolls, man.
But if you look in the back of the box, it's tiny. It's like tiny, tiny words that say it. So it's, when I was a package designer, managers would harp on you and say, no, you need a little flag that sticks out. You need to call out visually something that grabs the attention of the consumer so they know that this is what this is. And Lego seems to be walking away from that. And it's just sad, but they'll change once they realize enough parents call them.
All right. The Lego guy says, I can only tell you so much before Lego finds me, because he says Disney Springs will actually hold for you. well, Disney Springs is Disney Springs.
Well, some of the ones here will too. It just depends on the manager. But like I said, when I got up there and he actually saw I had a cane and everything, he's like, "Oh, you should have just told us we'd pay over the phone." Like, yeah, thank you for telling me that.
Dang. Right? Now that would have been nice to know.
Yeah, especially that we just had like a hurricane supposedly. So, and don't get me wrong, we do get crazy hurricanes here. I mean, we always cross our fingers when hurricanes hit if it hits Florida, it could bounce off the Carolinas, come to us, or just go out to sea. So we do get nailed with hurricanes here badly. But that was not a hurricane, which just happened. And the power was out everywhere. It was just insane. But when I called the Lego store, they're like, yeah, just come up here. And it's like, so you're going to drive an hour and a half? Like, you have it there. I'll pay for it now. Like.
Yeah.
But it is.
I probably should have been smart enough to have been like, well, can I pay for it? Because like I said, I had done that with the Gurney Mall when I picked up that Stranger Things set. So
yeah, but how are we supposed to know? But
yeah,
we know because the managers told me. So it's just do it. Like, but again, it's every different store. The managers, however they're in the mood they are.
Yeah. And when we got to the mall, we had to wait in line for like a half hour to even get into the store because they were only allowing like 4 or 6 people in the store at one time.
Here we go. Camp Crystal Lake. That's the same figure you had.
Nice.
I just swapped the pants out. His pants are over there.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm trying to I forget which set it was, but they had printed round like the end of a log. It looked like the rings, the age rings in a log. But I want to make for this Halloween, I'm going to do the little altar of Jason's mother's head in the shrine.
Oh, nice.
in Lego form. Put that on ideas. Like, little Jason's head in the shrine.
Right. I wonder if that will pass their.
So you're the best person to ask this. I was going to use the zombie cabbie from Ghostbusters as the face. What should I use as the face and the wig for the head that's on? Because the mother's head is sitting on the shrine of logs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I use the zombie head from? There's the ice zombies from Ninjago. There's the cabbie, the zombie ghost cabbie from Ghostbusters.
You're talking about this guy here.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite figs ever. I love that guy. What head should I use for the mother's face?
Well, yeah, this zombie face is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, because it's all grody and disgusting looking for them, but I don't know.
In the movie, her face is just sitting there, basically like dead.
yeah, exactly.
So I was trying to find a good face for it. That brings up another topic of the Osprey this and that and all these. Everyone wants to hold. It's like a challenge that everyone wants to hold Lego to their non-violence thing, and it's almost like the fans can't enjoy Lego. They just want to like hold everything against them. Like, no, you screwed up here, and it's just like, and then you complain about it.
Yeah. Right? Yeah,
which is the maddening thing. But hopefully that Osprey comes out to the people that wanted to actually buy it.
Yeah, well, some people have actually found them at Targets, so and they're turning around and selling them for a couple grand because it's going to be a rare set for it. And then watch as soon as Lego decides to end up releasing them.
Yeah,
all these people that paid a couple $1,000s for these sets they're gonna dwindle down to nothing.
There was a hobby store in Fairfield, Connecticut that had 3. They wanted $350 a piece, and it was only like a week after the whole thing went down, which I was shocked. But the owner was just like, "Oh, we just want to get rid of them. We have 3 here. They're worthless to us." So, but that was cheap, $350. I was looking at them like, that's pretty damn cheap,
right, exactly. Because, like I said, people are buying it for that ridiculous $1,000 price.
I'm sure they were gone within a day or two. That's like one of the little stores I go to when I know, like, if things are coming out and they might hit before Target. Those stores, they don't care because they don't have the little price tags. They don't have the date codes. They just put it out.
Right. Lego guy says it's a kid company. Are we talking about Lego?
That's the thing. It is, but now they're trying to market. They understand that they have a market for adults. Then they're starting to change that, obviously. But it's interesting. We'll see. I mean, the company is definitely evolving. Like, when I was a kid and you were a kid, they were the best thing since sliced bread, and then they went bankrupt when we were teenagers.
Wow.
And Star Wars and they saved them, all the properties, and like look at now. I don't want the old Star Wars sets. I want the newer ones because the pieces are it's just so much better.
Yeah, the pieces are more universal now than what they used to be. Because just even going through like bulk buys that we get, you get these weird looking pieces. It's like it was only made for one set, but it's like this big chunky black thing with all these technical things going this and that way, and it's like I will never use this in a mock at any time in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I could see why they went bankrupt doing these big chunky pieces like that no one would ever use ever again.
Speaking of parts usage, these were awesome. I just grabbed these. I'm waiting for the Back to the Future, but the Vankman and Slimer brickhead.
Yeah.
And the hot dog, the actual usage of the hot dog with Slimer was pretty, these are, I guess, I don't know if they're retired or not, but they have a lot.
Those have been retired. Yeah.
I only paid like $30, $35 for the 2, which was pretty. It's not that.
Yeah, that's pretty good for a retired brick. I can't believe the price of brickheads when they get retired out. If you look at which one is it, the Hermione grain, like the Harry Potter ones, like that first release, the Hermione, and then you had the Harry with the Hedwig, and then you had Ron and Dumbledore. You look at the prices of those right now; they are ridiculous. Because I missed out on the Hermione. I got the other 2. I missed out on Hermione, and she's going for like almost $100. I was like, geez.
Yeah, and it's funny because brickheads are so basic, but you need those little specialty parts.
Yeah, you need the printed parts that are in it.
Yeah, that too. But that's even with the Garbage Pail Kids one. I released one when I first put it out, and it had a dark suit. He had like a dark, totally different than the one I put out like finally. But that just goes to show I was so lazy. My parts collection was not organized that it was like dark navy blue, and it was totally different. I deleted the post, but if you look at the original versus now, and it just goes to show, because like you said, I finally took the time to find the parts that I needed to make it the way it should be. So I can't believe that. I mean, I know it's a property that is a little raunchy for Lego, but people like you and I, like the Garbage Pail Kids, that was big time when we were kids.
Oh, definitely.
And
and it's like, they've dived into like, sorry about that. Got a motorcycle going on the road, but they went Stranger Things. That's
exactly.
That was pretty out there. You get a Demogorgon. This freaking thing is out there eating people and stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing. Is like when I was going to make that brickhead, and I never even bought a brickhead or messed around with brickheads, and I was just like, you know what? And I bought the Mandalorian and the Child brickhead, which that is an amazing set. That I was just like, oh, it's not techniques in this are awesome. So I started.
Yeah, I haven't built mine yet. I still got to build those ones.
No, that's great. The way the way they sit his mask in, they use like this weird snot technique and gravity. It's a really cool technique. But when I looked it up, I was like, Garbage Pail Kid brickheads, there was none. I was like, what? I'm like, how does this community of all these A-holes from the 80s never made a Garbage Pail brickhead? So that I just made mine, but I was shocked because there was no reference. There was nothing.
Yeah, we made horror themed brickheads that I actually got nominated for an award at Philly Brickfest last year.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Because I made Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, Chucky.
Yeah. Oh, I know Chucky. That's the coach of the Raiders. That's what, AKA, you're a Niner fan, but that's what they call John Gruden, Chucky, because he has little tantrums and he has kind of reddish hair.
Yeah, he definitely has that Chucky look to him.
Yeah. His scowl. You've seen the scowl. Yeah. He has the little face. That's why they call him Chucky. But I was just shocked. I was like, there's some. Like, I look up some characters for brickheads for reference, and there's none. It's like, what happened in the 80s? Like, you're missing half of these people, the brickheads.
Right, and that's actually what brought me, because I never was a Lego fan growing up. I was always like I said, action figure guy. I was He-Man and Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. So when they came out with it was Dimensions. Dimensions actually got me into Lego. I'd never been in Lego before, but Dimensions came out, and I'm like, they have like Back to the Future. They have Ghostbusters. They have Gremlin. Yeah. I'm like, man, they sucked me in with those, and I wish that they would actually come out with a Dimension line. It doesn't have to be the game, but kind of like that
the throwback,
like a mash of like movie stuff like that.
Because I need the A-Team set. I need the Gremlins. I want E.T. There's like that was right at the heartstrings, and it's unfortunate that the technology at that time, the Dimensions thing came and went. But people our age and the A-Folds now, like, look at the Nintendo set. Look how that sold. That's what they want. They want that A-Team. They want all the. Here, check this out. Hold on a second.
Yeah, because that one, and then they released. They released the Cusco, or was it Ideas? Was it Cusco or Ideas when they released the Ecto one, and then that's my favorite set. So it's, man, these little, I got a ton of these little wedge things. They threw a ton of these on the set. So what's up, ladies and gentlemen? If you guys are in that chat, don't be afraid to hop on in the conversation. Let us know, are you a fan of the 80s? What is your favorite movie out there of all time? Let us know. Blow it up in the chat. What's your favorite movie? Doesn't have to be an 80s movie. Just
This was the best for the helmet usage. That is Mumra from the Thundercats. Printed on the. Sorry for the lighting, but it's an Ninjago helmet that just works so awesome for.
Oh yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, That's printed on Lego, eBay Engineerio. This is an awesome little Mumra.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I had that. That was another one. I was a huge in the Thundercats, so I had a ton of Thundercats figures. And
then we got this one with the Cobra Commander. That one's on Lego as well.
I get you, Joe.
But this was one that I made, a mock I made. People have seen of the Goonies, and it's Sloth chained in the basement.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's got Mikey with his little inhaler, and that's the one on Lego Ideas. They did the guy who put it, and it's awesome. Everything on Lego Ideas is awesome, but they left out Mikey's inhaler. They put the wrong color hair on the older brother, Bran. You know the scene where they slip the pizza? He slips the food to him with the broom, and there's chocolate bars in there. Like I hit a lot of little Easter eggs in there.
Oh, very cool.
That's the thing. Like that's the one. When you said dimensions, it made me think of that, because now when I saw there was a Sloth figure, I was like, what? And then there was like E.T. and the Gremlins. Yeah. It just gets out of control.
Yeah, we actually are 100% complete on all the dimension stuff. That was, like I said, that was our wheelhouse. Actually, when we started up our YouTube channel, that's all we reviewed were the dimension sets, and then we got in more and more into heavier Lego stuff.
I heard they were in dollar stores too for a while. Which
yeah, and that upset me because I was the one that I pre-ordered everything, so of course I'm paying top dollar for it when it comes out. $30 for a Simpsons starter pack, and then all of a sudden they're at the dollar store for $1. It's like, oh,
yeah,
like that hurts.
I still don't see, like, I want to get the A-Team one. It's only like $25. They're still at like a decent price range where I'm trying to get the most of them that I can. But
yeah, like somebody listed a few on my Facebook Marketplace. They had what is it? The My Precious guy from
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah, they had him, and they had the Benny single pack, and they only wanted like $2 for the pack. I'm like, oh man, I better swoop up and get those, just to hold on to them.
Yeah, but that's like I said earlier, I was one of 5 kids, so all my Lego, I have so much classic space. Man, every birthday I got classic space. And I remember, like, when I was a kid, and Brickblade did the same thing. We had they weren't poly bags, they were little boxes, and it had the white Benny space suit, classic space outfit, and there was a black evil guy in a black suit. So it was like white and black, like it was very monochromatic, had a little printed ship, and I have so many of those, and they were given to my nephews. And my nephews have that huge bin from all 5 children I grew, like all my siblings, and I see my original Blue Benny in there, and I'm like, no, smashing it all up, but hey, they're having fun with it. So
yeah, we actually we were at a convention last year. It was just a comic convention, but they brought us in as a special guest and had us run their like Lego section, and there was a company, or like a video game company that was next to us. It was kind of like a hometown type of GameStop type of store, but they started buying Lego from people, and this guy got an entire 1980s collection of nothing but space guys. He had like 60 of each figure.
Yeah.
And while we were sitting there, we were kind of looking at him. He goes, "Oh, you guys want a set of these?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What do you want for him?" He goes, "No, you guys can just have them because I can't get rid of them." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "That's nice." Yeah, so we got the entire line of like older space figures that we never had.
Yeah, I remember, because I remember as a little kid, like that was when the white Astro figure came out and the black, and then there was yellow, and then when they started doing colors, it was just like because you didn't have that for forever. So, but all the original ones are my nephews have, which is cool, but it's sad to see they're all beat up.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes toys get played with.
Yeah, but it's cool because it went through the generations, and that's so it's
because I still have like all my like old He-Man stuff, and it's down like stairs, boxed up, but I still have it. And I can go down there and look at it. I'm like, man, I was rough with my stuff. But then I start remembering, I'm like, these were toys. I'm like, they were supposed to be beat up.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I have the original, the one Lego set I keep put together is the Voltron set. It's right to the left of me. And that's only because my original die-cast metal Voltron set I still have. It's about the same size, a little taller, but it's just all scratched up. It's beat up because I used to smash the lines together.
Right. Yeah.
That's always going to stay together. That they did an amazing job with the Voltron set. It's like spot on.
Yeah. So I've always, and when we started getting into Lego stuff, I'm like, oh man, it'd be awesome if we got like Masters of the Universe stuff, and then Mega Constructs is the Mattel line.
Yeah.
So they ended up having the Masters of the Universe contract. And it's like, oh, man. So I ended up going out and buying a few of the Masters of the Universe Mega Constructs figures just because it was He-Man stuff. And now they're like releasing an entire figure line for just Masters of the Universe.
Oh, they have a new one coming out for that?
Yeah.
That's funny because I saw, and I think in the comments of your, like a few chats ago, I was talking with you about it, of the actual Castle of Grayskull. I saw like a Mega Block set. It was like $300. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I need those instructions so I can
so I can kind of convert it into Lego stuff.
Yeah, because all those little parts they have that aren't the same, I will find a way in Lego to just switch it over. So I really want to get those instructions because it's going to be a lot of parts to buy. But that Mega Block's the one I saw with the Castle of Grayskull. It was there's some great mock builders out there, but it was the best Castle Grayskull I've ever seen. Like, so the face of it was just gorgeous. The way they did the shaping of the face, the whole, and you've seen the new Ninjago sets. They have the Skull Sorcerer, they have his dungeon, and Lego get there with it. But you could do it with Lego parts.
Oh, definitely.
And I've seen, like I said, I've seen some amazing ones, but the best one was from Mega Bloks. And I was like, $300. I'm not gonna pay $300 for this, but I want the instructions.
Right. What was it just now at my Target? They've clearanced out the Game of Thrones Mega Construct sets, and they have this gorgeous dragon. It's like freaking amazing looking, and it was like a $50 dragon they had on clearance for like $10. I was like, do I do it? Do I buy it? I'm like, this thing looks awesome. I'm like, no, I better not.
I don't know the name of the set, but the new Ninjago, it's like the skeleton dragon, like the Skull Sorcerer's dragon. That thing looks so cool. The way they did the die cut lacing of the the wings, and like, that's a cool set. Very cool.
That's on my list, is to get that skull dragon. That's my that was another one of the sets that I was really hoping to get at the beginning of the month, but evidently they're not releasing those until next month or whenever they feel like releasing them.
Yeah.
Well, here stateside, I guess they've been released. Yeah,
they were in Europe. Yeah, they were up there. I want the Zelda. I mean, I've been working on this little jam. This one's a little tiny Zelda piece, but I had to buy so many customs and bootlegs to make the little Link figure that I just want Lego to release one now. Like it translates so well. All the little pots, all the parts to Lego will make an amazing Zelda set, and I cannot wait to see what these designers do with it.
Yeah, well, they definitely are in the pockets with Lego or with Nintendo, so it could definitely see it on the horizon.
Like you could it's so Nintendo just with the whole 8-bit and not even 8-bit, 16-bit, whatever, like just the jaggedness of the art and the way the art style is just translates into brick form so well. And
building these Mario sets, I kind of poo-pooed on them when they released the images of them. I was like, oh man, this is gonna suck,
Yeah.
But when building it, it's like, wow, these actually look really good together.
Yeah, we will see. I'm curious too. I'm hearing rumors of the I'm big into like I took Latin in high school, and I'm into like Roman and Greek mythology. So I heard of this new rumor of a Roman Colosseum that's over 9,000 pieces.
Yeah, that's going to be a healthy box.
I would personally rather it not be like a full repetitive Colosseum build, but like in the landscape and have like a huge like micro scale, like an architecture set of like
the
Roman like mountainside. Like that would be ridiculous. But
yeah, that would be really cool. Because like I look at some of these architecture sets, like they have the Empire State Building, and it looks like it's the same thing you repeat 1 million times on it. It's just those grates. When I was doing the Statue of Liberty, I actually got bored with it doing the base on it, because basically you were doing the same thing over and over and over again times 4. And I was like, okay, this is getting repetitive and boring.
Yeah, it's funny because I built the base and then I stopped and I had to tear it down to build my UCS Tatooine model. But right when I got to the statue, I was like halfway through the statue and I had to use it for parts, which is yeah, because I usually like to bring it fully to life, especially being in the New York area, Statue of Liberty. But it was an amazing build, but it got sacrificed for parts.
Oh man, it's a gorgeous set. It's up, we keep sets built of the ones we really like, and that's actually that's still in one piece on our shelf. That's a good display piece.
Oh, it's a beautiful set. I just needed it, and actually I'm gonna go to Barnes and Nobles, and it'll go on clearance. I'll buy a second one to have this model. But it wasn't planned that way. It just happened.
Very cool. Yeah, I was just at the Barnes and Noble in my place, and they still have some old sets on. They still got like the pop-up book.
Yep.
They still have that on the shelf.
Flintstones, Friends, the one I have.
Flintstones, Friends, yeah.
Yeah. People, if you're in the U.S. and you want stuff that's like close to retirement, it's hard to find, go to Barnes and Nobles. You will find it.
Exactly. Because because I took Nessie there over the weekend. She's like, they sell Lego at Barnes and Noble. I'm like,
yeah. People don't know. They don't know.
So they had like bags of like old minifigures too of the CMFs.
Yep.
And she's like, whoa, can you find this for me? And so we were filling up the packages and got her the figures that she wanted of these older CMFs. So
yeah, that's
like, it's kind of like a hidden gem to go into Barnes and Noble, because
they have it all. They definitely, and like you said, it's people don't realize that they have Lego there. That's why, and it's just there's so much of it there.
All right, I kind of miss it because the kids always loved going there for the. They would have like Lego days where you would go there and they would have like a small build that you could do to take home with you, and but with all this COVID stuff, that killed all that.
Yeah, it's
so speaking of rumors, I seen there's a rumor that there's a UCS like Ghostbusters Ecto-1 coming out. Is that what I'm seeing?
I hope that's what it is, but because like with the UCS Batmobile that they made, I was just like, oh man. When I heard rumors of a Ghostbusters set, and come on, the new movie, it's great.
Right.
It's not. I'm not being sexist at all because I liked the new movie and I liked that it was females and it was different. Then COVID delayed the next one, but it's the people really didn't buy those sets of the newer version of Ghostbusters. So if you're going to do something from Ghostbusters, what's more iconic? You already did the fire station.
Right.
What's more iconic than the Ecto-1?
Yeah, and I think like I said a little earlier, the Ecto-1 is my favorite. I think it was like the idea. Was it Ideas or Cusco at the time? But that's my favorite build is the Ecto-1. That was one of my first Lego sets I got when I got into Lego, and I'm a huge Ghostbusters nerd, as everyone knows. With being the whole paranormal thing or whatnot. But that if you're gonna slap Ghostbusters on it, I am gonna end up buying it. So.
That I told you I have to link you up with my sister because unfortunately like I said, I'm one of 5 siblings. We're half Italian, half Polish, so we fight a lot. With her currently, but my sister is one of the top mediums, like professional mediums in like the United States. I'm not lying. You can go to her website. Like she used to work with the Warrens. I'm fortunate that I grew up in an area where the Warrens are from, like the town away from me. So my sister worked with them from a teenager on, and my sister took the Annabelle doll out of the glass case in the basement of the Warrens' house. I ran up the stairs. She had it in her hands, the Annabelle doll. I was just like, yeah, I'm good. Peace.
That
so
that would be incredible.
Yeah, but she could tell you stories till days. Like that's what she does professionally. Exorcisms, like she does Reiki. Like she's very well known, and people can believe or not believe. My sister makes a living off of that, and you will believe if you meet her. Trust me, because yeah. So I got to link you up with her for the for your other podcast.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're always looking for something fun and new, and that would be pretty cool. Yeah, because I've been trying to line up like a medium type person, because I don't know if you listen to the podcast or whatnot, but you know, I kind of poo-poo on mediums for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of them are just
I know.
I feel somebody died here.
Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. But this is my own sister, and I'm telling you that I have a deceased brother. He went to the grave with secrets that I only know and him. And she has dreams about it. And trust me, you'll see. Because I'm the same type of way. I was like, yeah, whatever, this person, that person, blah, blah. I grew up in the New York area. I don't fall for the BS. But my own sister, it'll scare you. It will scare you. Like, trust me. Even my father, he's a Catholic. He's an usher at church, and he doesn't believe in any of that stuff. And she scared him several times. So it's
definitely. You know, I actually went and sat in on a reading that my mom had, and this medium hit on stuff about my dad that, you know, if you did a Google search or whatever of that person, you would never know this about my dad, right?
Yeah.
And this dude was hitting on everything about, like, he didn't even miss like not even a tick on anything about my dad. He was like on it. Everything that he said was spot on about my dad.
Yeah.
And you know, it kind of made me think and sit back and think for a minute. It's like, maybe there is something to this.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I grew up around the Warrens my whole life because they were right around. Like all their hauntings and the most famous stuff happened in the area I grew up in. So you're just accustomed to that. But then my sister became a teenager, and my cousin worked for them. There was a couple and my grandparents' house was haunted just from family, not bad haunting, just families have died in that. It's a farmhouse. They died. Generations have died in the house, and they came and investigated, and that's how my sister met them. But trust me, you know, it's like, put it this way. This is my sister.
Yeah.
My brother is deceased, who they didn't get along, and me and him got along, and she knows secrets that she should not know. So
yeah, and that's what always keeps me interested in the paranormal stuff, because yeah, you know, one person can have a thought on one way or the other, and then you go and actually experience something, and then you're like, maybe I was thinking wrong. Maybe I should keep an open mind about this stuff. Yeah,
especially when you go on like the site visits and everything that you do. But
yeah,
trust me, I get it. But then it was like, that's what changed my whole view on it. Is my own sister was just like, how does she know this? Like, how does she know this stuff? Like, so, but hey, and she even did. My sister's big into the family history, and I'm half Polish, half Italian. I'm right down the middle. So my family came to New York. It's documented, and it is what it is. My parents are the first American generation from both sides. So when you look it up, my great-great-grandmother was drowned in public in Tuscany, Italy, for being a witch. She was a medium, and she was killed public. And if you look it up on whatever, the Ancestry.com, it shows, boom, it's right there. Like, so
that's incredible. That's incredible, dude.
Yeah. So, but that's what I mean. And that's what my sister has pictures of her all over the house. And like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's actually, you know, you say it's crazy, but me in my mind is like, that's awesome. You know, it's not awesome that she got drowned, but you know, it's one of those things that that's what I'm always looking for, something like that. You know, it's like, you know,
That's what
people thought this way at one point of this is how life was for people, you know?
Yeah, and it's crazy because that's how I went on field trips as a kid to Plymouth Rock, one state away, watching where people drowned, witches were drowned publicly, you know, and then to find out years later, oh, your great great grandmother this was done to her in public,
Yeah.
you know, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so we got Blindside Bricks in the chat. Hello, Nick, and anyone else in the chat. And Frank17 the second is here, and the Lego guy is back after eating dinner. Thanks, guys, for still hanging in there tonight. Yeah, this has been a pretty interesting conversations we've had here tonight. That blows my mind that you say your great grandmother or your grandmother.
No, my great great grandmother. My grandmother.
Great. I'm like, wow, that's
It was my grandmother's grandmother.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Because my grandmother just passed away a year ago, and she was like the last of the Italian bloodline. And she even told me, she's like, no, everything your sister says is true. It's all documented. Like she tried to like hide. My family was embarrassed about it for a long time, but.
Well, yeah, I guess, you know, you're not going to be like, yay, man.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're witches.
But it's funny because my sister, she is like on TV with it the whole nine. Like she's.
Oh yeah, it's more socially acceptable now for Wiccans and mediums and all that to be out there in the open than it was back in the day, you know?
Yeah, but it's a funny, like I wasn't one to fall for it or believe in it, and it definitely changed my perspective. Just be like, whoa, and then find out the family history, and then you see pictures of like your great great grandmother holding snakes being drowned publicly. It's a little freaky. She was like holding, like literally had the hood up, holding vipers in her hands. Like I'll show you pictures. It's crazy.
That's incredible.
So like the things you see in movies, just like, wow, my family experienced that. That's pretty.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately in history, this stuff actually happened, you know? It's like, you know, what people thoughts were on this kind of stuff because somebody was different, you know? That's
the funny thing though was to find it out from like we had to go to my grandmother and show her like ancestry.com because that just came around what, like 8 years ago, 6 years ago. And my sister started going looking up and she's like, what the? And she showed it to my grandmother, and my grandmother was like, yep, this. But then it made sense because I was like, this is why I never met your sister to my grandmother, or I never met Great Aunt Rose or this person. She's like, yeah, no, because that was mafia and the weirdos. So, like, I just never met that part of my family. And then history, and you're like, what the?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So it's like,
it always makes for good stories, though.
I was just thought it was in the New York area because my family was known prevalently in the crime industry in this area for generations back. So that I always thought that's why my grandmother never said anything, but it's really because of that and the whole other. That's basically my grandmother separated herself from that part of the family because she didn't like the whole witch thing that was going on or the mafia thing, so she just backed off, you know. But it's just crazy what Ancestry.com shows you.
Exactly. You know, it's like Nessie. She got one of those DNA test things done.
Yeah,
and they were able to pinpoint that because she doesn't like cilantro, and when she got her report for her DNA testing, it said that her DNA rejects the taste of cilantro.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you know, you know, all this stuff you're going to find out, you know, from that. And then there's a podcaster that I listened to. He did the DNA test thing, and come to find out he had a daughter he didn't know about. You know, because of, you know, he had the DNA testing done, she had it done, and they didn't know each other, or he didn't even know about her, but he ended up finding out that he had a daughter, and I'm like, wow, this is just crazy.
Yeah, that's like I said, you never know until found out on Ancestry.com. And I literally saw pictures of my great-great-grandmother in a hood. And it looks like some old Jedi stuff. And she's holding diapers. And it's like what? You can't deny it. It's history. It's like documented. And they're like, yeah, the next picture, she's dead. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, man.
I didn't know her. You know, this is generations ago. But my own grandmother was reluctant to tell me as a child, and then eventually you ask about it, and she's like, "Yep, that's true." And it's,
well, you know, and for your sister to you know, for that to carry on through that bloodline like that is even more incredible.
Dude, but that's what I mean. Like, my father is like the most Polish Catholic guy you can ever meet by the books, like too much in my opinion. And he even's like, "Whoa, like sometimes your sister scares me." You know, so and like my father goes to church, and if you're Catholic, he'll go on a Wednesday when it's a religious holiday, and you know it's only Sundays. So like that's how my dad is, and to him to look me in the eye and be like, "John, like don't mess around with your sister with that stuff." It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take that seriously.
Right? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely like to link up with her and maybe do like an interview or something. Because that would be really cool to, you know, especially with that family history like that. That's pretty, you know, pretty epic there, man.
Yeah, well, her and I, like, we got an argument like around Easter time. So with Italian families, it'll take till Christmas for it to clear up.
Yeah, I totally understand that, man. I come from a family of 6 siblings.
Yeah, you're like me. You get it.
I know how that goes.
You get it.
Yeah.
Especially we're half Italian and Polish. That's the most stubborn you can get in the world. And you mix that together and add female genes to that, it's good. So
that's very cool.
The funny thing though is my sisters are better artists than I am. The one who's a medium is an amazing artist. Like really, she went to Yale School of Art. So did my other sister, and the one who's a medium dropped out to do her thing. She just didn't want to do it anymore. But she was in Yale School of Fine Arts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's another reason why my dad was so mad. When she dropped out, he's like, "What are you doing?" But it worked out for her.
Very cool. Man, this build is taking me forever.
What is that?
It's the corner garage.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working on the 3rd level of the garage. Last night we hopped on Hoosier Stream, and Vanessa did the 2nd level in like 15 minutes. She flies on this stuff, man.
She likes architecture though, so it seems like she's a fast builder.
Yeah, definitely. I see her. She sits down with the Lego set, and she could have that sucker whipped out in no time flat. So you know, I think I might have to resubmit to Lego Masters and have her be my teammate instead of Jigglypuff.
The BFAB has been pushing. He's like, "Yo, you got to go on Lego Masters." I'm like, no. I was on Orange County Choppers once, and that was paid by a client. And that was a TV art show. I will never do that again.
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't even a competition. It was just involved in, we were the week's build, you know. So, but poof. And those two, they hated each other. The father and son were fighting like that was not for TV. That was real. Like they did not like each other. So it just made it very difficult. But props to all those. And I talked to a lot of Lego Masters, and that I give them so much credit for what they went through, especially because the whole show was planned just to make that couple win with the baby anyways. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but that's TV.
Yeah. I totally get it. You know, in the end, it's entertainment, and everything's got a script to go with it.
Yeah.
We actually interviewed to be on a Netflix show. It was called Haunted.
That'd be cool.
For some of our stuff that we've had here at our house. And unfortunately, they didn't come out with a 3rd season. Otherwise, we would have been on it.
Oh, that was awesome, dude. That's like, it's so funny. When they did the Remington factory here in Bridgeport, like where I'm sitting right now, it's Bridgeport, Connecticut. Connecticut in general is known to be haunted just because Massachusetts and all, it's where the Pilgrims came.
It's got all that history behind it.
It's got a lot of history. So there's a lot of hauntings here, big time. That's why the Warrens were so famous from living in this area. But if you go to some of these spots, like the Remington Gun Factory, and it was forget which one it was. It was on one of those famous those ghost hunting shows, and the cops.
Yeah, Ghost Adventures did that one. Yeah,
they pulled up, and you see the Bridgeport cops say, "Good luck. We're not going to protect you from the people outside the factory." Like, because it's in the hood. It's in a very bad spot. I mean, I could kind of see it from where I'm at over the river, and but that factory has so much history. Like all the gun factories here, like Remington, Ruger Firearms, Colt, they're all like the East Coast that fed the war with all those factories. It has so much haunted history.
Well, yeah, a lot of people died in those factories while producing those guns, and then there's the Winchester Mystery House out in California, I think it is. The Winchester lady that owned the house, her parents were the Winchesters that made the Winchester gun. And she thought she was haunted by people that were killed by those guns.
Yeah.
And those spirits of those people killed by those guns were telling her how to manipulate her house. She was building stairways going to nowhere, rooms that had no exits or entrances. They would just be boarded up. They'd build the room and then board it up because the ghost told her that's where it was supposed to go. So it's crazy stuff.
That's I'm telling you, like when you grow up where I did, and like in Halloween, you go to Salem, Mass, and a lot of it now becomes urban legend and tourist stuff. But like the Melon Heads, the Remington factory, there's
definitely the Melon Heads. I know
certain spots.
We're actually going to be talking about the Melon Heads coming up here in a soon to be episode. Here we're going to talk about the Melon Heads up there.
Dude, if you come to I'll go there right now because I've been there. Dracula Drive, and it turns to dirt. Your car will stall. 100% your car will stall the second you get on the Dracula Drive. Second you go from pavement to dirt, your engine will just stop. If you don't believe me, come do it. Right there. Like it's not far. And you can see their house in it. And it's who knows if it's really the Melon Heads or not. Like once your car stalls, you're gonna poop your pants. You're gonna poop emoji your pants. Trust me.
Definitely. All right.
So you could just see this house on the hill, like, and maybe that's why the urban legend came to be. But it's called Dracula Drive, and it goes into the woods and just becomes a dirt road out of nowhere, and you are in the woods. There's nothing, and your car just goes like that every time.
When I went out there to when I went to Brick Fair, New Jersey last year with Kevin, we actually went out to the Clinton Road out there. It's supposed to be the most haunted road in the world. And, as soon as you turn onto this road, it is so pitch dark and it is like the creepiest thing. I've been to some creepy places, but just turning onto the road, you just get a feeling that you're like, man, we should not be on this road right now here at midnight.
But that's the thing. Growing up in this area, you do that like a dumb teenager on 40 ounces, and you really crap your pants.
Yeah, definitely.
All these urban legends, and you go and do them, and it's just like, what? And then the car turns off, and you're crying like girls because that's what happens.
Exactly.
So it's even the what I was going to say, the Melon Heads here, but there's another one, the Union Cemetery, the White Lady, which is a fire truck hit this ghost. A fire truck, but they put a dent. This ghost put a dent in a fire truck. Like it's all documented. It was all over the news here. But that's why the Warrens became so big. The White Lady. There's a place called Union Cemetery in the east and western Connecticut area, way up in the woods. That's the way you have to go to get to the Danbury, Connecticut Lego store. You have to go through these crazy mountain hill, no streetlight towns like boonies of Connecticut. And well, they have streetlights, but not many, like one or two in the center of town. Like they're very rich, historic, old school. You're in the woods. And that's where the Warrens got their fame, was from the White Lady. There's a ghost in this cemetery. You go there and it just drops off to a cliff. Like it's a scene from a movie. Like when you look at the cemetery, it's all old 1800s bent over like gravestones. And then this cliff with fog that just goes right down. And supposedly this woman, the White Lady, patrols it and she hits cars, which is even crazier. Like cars hit this ghost, and it puts fire trucks, cop cars have hit it, ambulances, like and that's how the Warrens got their fame.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I've never seen the White Lady. I've gone there, and it's too scary to even, I'll admit, to even chill there. It's so your hair just starts to stand up. It's freaky.
Yeah, sometimes it's just better to just kind of leave well enough alone.
So, but it's, yeah, man. But that's the thing. My sister's all into like shamanic stuff and old, like Pequot Indians, things like that. So, and that's the history here. So she's into the spiritual side of that, and it gets really deep. So, I'll link you up with her as soon as I'm speaking to her again.
Yeah. Whenever you get back on speaking terms with your sister, that'd be awesome.
She would do it now. If I told her, like, hey, you know, this podcast wants to talk to you, she would do it.
We would be total professionals. We don't, whenever we get actual guests on the show, we actually act like humans. So
yeah,
because we're actually going to be doing a live podcast from Wolf Hollow, the store here in town, in a couple of weeks. So when we go there, we try to be on our best behavior as it is. So.
Well, when things start rolling in here, I will take you to some of these spots when the shows start happening here again. So, and actually, they're building in Bridgeport, Connecticut's like the link between Boston and New York City. So they're actually building New Haven, Connecticut, where Yale is. They tore down all the stadiums; everything's gone. So they're building them here. So in the future, a lot of big shows are going to happen here. So you'll be able to. There's so much stuff within this area. You'll be able to hit a show and go to all these haunted spots. So
very nice, cool.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot here, like I said. And if you go up north, there's even more because of Salem and all that stuff. But it's I mean, when I was in elementary school, they took us to the old Green, in Fairfield, Connecticut, the old town hall had the sunken lawn. You can still see where it sunk in, where they used to drown witches. And they tell the kids that. They're like, this is where we used to drown witches, and there's a sign there, the whole night.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like it just comes with the territory, England. It's just a weird. That's why Halloween here is awesome.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list to head up to Salem.
Yeah, it's a good time. It is a good time. It gets a little touristy, but it's good touristy. It's not that Times Square kind of thing. Like it's cool.
Because you got the Conjuring house that's up there.
Yeah.
We actually have an open invitation from the people that own the Conjuring house to come up there and do a show and investigate the house. And so, I tried talking Kevin into coming up there with me, but he told me that he asked his wife about it if she'd be okay with it, and she goes, "Well, you will never be coming back here if you go there."
Yeah. But see, that's the thing with my sister, whereas I kind of understand that thing where my dad's the same way. It's my sister. He's so Catholic that he saw her, like she touched the Annabelle doll. And my dad was like, yeah, I don't know if I want you in my house again, ever. So, because like that, you should go, if you go in Lauren's basement now, and Ed passed away, Lorraine, I think, is still alive.
No, she passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, but they have a caretaker that's still there, and you could still go in. But when they were alive, I was much younger. You could go in their basement, and they had the whole deal. And I'm sure it's still there. I didn't know she passed away. It's been a while since I got involved with that stuff. But they had a nice museum, which I'm sure you could still see. And the original Annabelle doll, the Raggedy Ann doll, was in that basement.
Nice. I think actually the doll is now with Zach Baggins of Ghost Adventures. I think he ended up getting it, and I think it's on loan actually, and it's at his museum in Vegas right now.
Because I have right here, this is a baby skull synergy. This is a baseball sized crystal skull.
Oh, very cool.
This sat with Synergy, there's 13 ancient crystal skulls. Number 7 is Synergy. My sister had it for 3 weeks, but she gave me this one, this is very expensive. It's not clear. You can see normally crystal skulls clear. This one has some veins, but they say that when you put these together with the big skull, it like quartz. That's why quartz is in circuit boards, etc. It will inherit the knowledge of whatever, if you believe it or not. But Indiana Jones movie, this sat with one of the 13 right next to it. So I have the documentation, which is crazy. But
very cool.
That too, yeah. Like that skull, has like crazy history because she had for 2 or 3 weeks in her house one of the giant ones that looks all alien looking, and it's called Synergy. It's one of 13. I guess 7 are around, and there's a total of 13, and 4 or 5 are missing, something like that. 6.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's like I'm telling you, my sister goes deep into that stuff. So, but
yeah, we just have Martha.
That's crazy. That's creepier than a crystal skull, in my opinion.
Well, than actually having a human skull.
So yeah. I love skulls like that, though. I have so many. I have one right here too. I have so many different like carved. You can tell my sister gives me all these as gifts, like carved skulls. As creepy as that is, I'm telling you, she's an artist, so she's into that stuff.
Hey, Haley, how's it going? Hey, Haley's like, did I miss the '80s talk? We dabbled in it, and then we went off on something else.
Well, to me, that's '80s. All the ghost stuff.
Definitely. Because that was we dabbled in the Ghostbusters. That was total '80s.
House. I can't believe you know the House movies, Critters. Like those are the movies that's like '80s horror gold. Like Critter, House. What else do we have? There's so many. There's the mainstream ones, but then you have those movies that are just like little cult classics.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, there's this streaming service called Shudder, and it has nothing but like old cheesy horror flicks, you know, from the night, like Prom Night and Prom Night 2, all those kind of crazy, you know, horror movies that you remember, like all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. Like Chopping Mall.
Oh, Chopping Mall, yeah.
So I've been diving heavy into all those older stuff like that.
Remember Cat's Eye? Was it?
Yeah, Cat's Eye with wasn't that James Woods was in that, right? Was that James Woods where he was on the ledge in Vegas, I think? Was that James Woods? And it ended up being electrocuted out there.
Like in real life, the actor got electrocuted?
Yeah, well, not in real life, but James Woods was the character out there because they were doing like a bet to try to walk along this ledge of this hotel.
Yeah, that's one that Cat's Eye. And the movie Trolls with the I brought it up in your chats before, with the little trolls with the ring, and they stab you, and you turn into like a little you turn into a pickle.
Yep, yeah, Troll. I actually just watched that not too long ago here. And I'm like, you know what? This movie actually still holds up pretty decent for yeah.
I used to love that movie. I used to draw. I remember drawing trolls. Like that's what I would do, was draw trolls from that movie. Or
it was all those those puppeteered type of things, like what was it, like the labyrinth creatures. You had the dark crystal creatures, you know, any kind of like puppets that were like creepy as hell.
Yeah,
those are the ones that gave me nightmares.
Yeah,
so, you know, in Troll, you had the little itty bitty guys when the one chick gets turned into like Mother Nature type thing, and she's got these little itty bitty ones in there. It's like, oh my god, yeah. So those were the '80s. That I love those movies. Those are and people pan them all over the place. They're like, oh man, how could you watch that kind of stuff? I'm like, that's how I grew up, man.
Dude, I remember, and I put it in my stories today because it hit me, and I was like, when Artex dies in the movie Never Ending Story and the horse drowns in the mud, I put that in my Instagram stories today, the sections of the horse drowning in the mud. And if people know, they know. Because that, like, even a fantasy movie back in the 80s would frighten you. Like, do you remember that movie, Never Ending Story?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I remember that. That's
when Artex drowns in the mud? Like, come on.
Yeah, like another nightmare-inducing scene was the darkness. Is that what he's called? The darkness, the wolf that's in that.
Yeah, the wolf. Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, man, no
Never.
wonder why it came out so messed up. It was from these movies.
The nothing. That's what it was. The nothing.
Oh, the nothing. Yeah. It's like, man, no wonder why I'm so messed up. It's from these movies.
Yeah. I put that in my stories today. I'm like, these young kids have no idea about the never-ending story.
We have a special guest rolling in here on the side of me. Maybe, eventually. Yes, you got to sit on it and then pull the trigger. There you go.
Okay. She called shotgun.
Right?
Hi there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me.
Oh, I have to talk in the microphone, huh?
Yes.
How's it going?
All right. We're just talking 80s. The fun stuff.
And you're an 80s baby too, so.
I was born in the 80s.
Yeah, we were just talking Never Ending Story. Were you a Never Ending Story person?
No.
No?
No.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I never really watched it when I was younger, so I was more like Labyrinth.
Well, Labyrinth is the same thing, though. That's what
it is, but I don't know. I just never watched it for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, you needed the David Bowie fan appeal. I get it.
Yeah. It was the bulge.
It was the bulge.
It was the Goblin King and the bulge. Yeah. The bulge. There wasn't. Now that she says it, there was a bulge.
Well,
definitely. Come on.
You can't ignore the fact.
David freaking Bulgy.
Yeah, he's throwing a baby in the air. The bulge is just
it's all about the babe.
The power of the babe.
The power of the babe. Exactly. Yeah, those were the good times. Those were the good movies compared to some of the schlock that comes out now.
Well, it goes back to what you're saying, the puppets. It was all about that creepy puppets. Like, the puppets that made you scared but also happy at the same time.
Yeah, even like we would go to like ice capades and stuff like that, and you would have the people in the in costumes and stuff like that. Freaked me out. So I'm definitely not a furry, that's for sure. Look at all the.
So how's it coming along here?
It's coming along
slowly but surely. Nice.
Speaking of modulars, I want to get the brick bank, but I'm obviously not going to buy it for the outrageous price it is retired. I can just get it on Bricklink.
Yeah. Just source out the parts for it.
Yeah. It's weird. It's always mason bricks in random colors that become expensive, and it's like, for real, for mason bricks,
right? Yeah, I've been doing a resort on our bricks. I'm like, man, I got a lot of mason bricks.
Are those the rounded ones?
No, they're with the brick print on it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would say the other ones, the rounded ones. Those are the texture ones. When I look to get texture in something, I go for those bad boys.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta put the flowers on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but slowly but surely, this is coming together. I don't think too much longer here. Might go a little bit longer than our 9 o'clock.
Got a lot of pieces though for building with one hand.
Trying to. I got these big old meaty fingers trying to put these in. That's why I'm usually like, here, you want to build something? So yeah, we've been jumping around the horn with the different things we've been talking about tonight. I don't know how much you've tuned in for, but
yeah, I caught the beginning, maybe for the first half hour or so, and then it was time to get my little man ready for bed.
Nice. Yeah, we were talking about Stutzius. His sister's a medium, and
cool.
Done all that stuff and talked some spooky for a little bit, and
nice.
Yeah. So we've been I don't know if we've been entertaining enough, but we've definitely had conversation flowing today.
Oh, that's good.
Trust me, like I said, if my sister people don't believe they listen, then they'll believe in their own way because she will scare you.
She'll scare you. Just with telling you information that you maybe don't want to know about?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like, I'm more artistic and I'm related to her, so I kind of can understand the vibe she's giving me, but there's things that bring up her just like, how do you know that? Like, how do you know that? So
yeah. Wow.
Well, it's like I asked Nessie over last weekend. We have a friend that does tarot readings. I'm like, do you want to get a tarot read? And she's like, I don't think I want to know. What if they tell me something that I don't want to know?
Yeah. You know, because it's not all, you know, unicorns and rainbows. So
no, you're right. It's not. But that's the scary thing of having a sister like that. Sometimes I just don't want to know. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why we don't talk right now, because it's just like,
yeah, because then you're just going to dwell on it, and then it's just going to become this whole big thing in itself.
Yeah. So that's the thing is people can have their opinion on that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, if you sit down with my sister and talk to her for a minute, she will change your opinion real fast. Because I was one of those people. And
yeah.
So, but it's everyone's different.
Yeah, I know, that's cool though.
Just doing the little tiny brick stuff. That's stuff that gets me.
You gotta look up Nick. Lindley Street in Bridgeport, Connecticut. They had the cops ended up coming in. All the cabinets were flapping open. The cats were floating. It's all documented. Look up Lindley Street in Bridgeport, because it's literally like 4 blocks from me.
Wow.
I'll have to check that out. Cats were floating?
The cops, this is documented because the police and the firemen went into the place, and the cats were floating around, slamming into the cabinets. Cabinets were opening. Like, these are police officers and firemen, like, just documenting, saying, like, I'll never go back to that house again. It's been shut down my whole life, the house. Once that happened, they closed it, and it's never been opened again.
Oh, crazy.
So, and it's right behind a hospital, but it's like, yeah, look up Lindley Street in Bridgeport. Golden, or what was they came up with a name for the haunting, but it's on Lindley Street, Bridgeport. It was, and this is like police officers and firemen, EMTs that went into there and were just like, what the?
Wow.
So,
crazy.
yeah.
I think I messed up somewhere along the line.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think I pulled a Jigglypuff.
Where at?
I'm missing one of these with the snot studs on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got 2 of the regular ones and no more snots left.
Uh-oh.
I have to admit, and then in the Nintendo system, I built all the way up to bag 4, and then I was like, why is this not clicking down? Like, so I built up to bag 4 on the NES, and I tried to click down, and it wouldn't stick. I had to rip the whole thing apart and rebuild it. One stud. And then I almost built it, screwed up the second time.
Doing the same
thing. I'm left-handed, so I was putting one of those 90-degree pieces, the LJ pieces, the wrong way, because I'm lefty, so I was just used to it. I had tore it down once. I almost had to do it twice.
Oh goodness. Did you need one more, or was that it?
Nope, that was it.
Okay.
So I think
save the day.
Save the day. Thank you for having that eagle eye. Because I'm like rubbing on all the sides. I'm like, man, I don't feel a snot anywhere.
That NES system is awesome. That set is so cool.
Yeah, it was. I didn't get to build the actual NES itself because we kind of split up with it. Me and Puff split because I took the TV and he took the NES, and the TV was kind of a fun build. It was that the little tiny tiles pushing them in kind of killed my fingers a little bit.
Yeah, those hurt my fingers.
It was really cool though how they put the original warp pipe level for Mario on the side of it. That was awesome.
Right there.
Yeah, the little hidden level.
Yeah, yeah.
On the side.
And people still get so triggered. They're like, "Why are you telling me you're ruining the spoiler?" It's like, come on.
Yeah, it was spoiled the day that it was released.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, seriously, like.
Yeah, it was pretty clever.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that a lot. I still have to build the TV. I'm gonna put this Zelda scene inside the TV eventually, but I want to give it its life with the Mario scene.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I mean,
the kids keep jamming ours. The little Mario stick hand that goes up in town. It keeps getting stuck on one of the blocks on there that stick out. So
it's funny because when I was a kid and we would fight over a Nintendo on a TV just like that, my little brother would just take the knob and he would just here with the knob. Get the pliers. Eventually, we learned to just use pliers, but because you'd have to go each channel would go dum 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 as you turned it. But he was a little smarty. He would take the knobs right off. Like, all right, if I'm not gonna play Zelda, you're not playing.
You're not gonna play. That's how the windows were on this.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm familiar.
Oh, okay. Oh, the side window.
Yep.
Yep. Let's see. Man, this thing just wants to keep falling down. I don't know how to build Lego.
That's the corner garage?
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those sets that was kind of like on the fence about getting. And then I'm like, well, I've had every other modular since they've come out. Well, since I started collecting, I guess.
No, you gotta do
it. I wonder what the next big modular is going to be. Like, because I'm getting into modulars. I like them. I don't want to get into a city build, but they're very cool.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the modulars myself. That's just because of how complete they look.
Yeah.
More than like you get one of those the creator. I'm gonna bring an example: a creator townhouse where you have the full back end of it. There's no build to it, and it's like, oh man. So I'm in the middle of trying to pull pieces to actually make that a modular to put in the city.
Where's Jiggle down the street at his hidden girlfriend's house? The simp.
No, he's at his mom's house. But I got yelled at by his mom tonight because I didn't let her know that there was a girl down the street.
Whoa, hey, that's father-son territory that mom shouldn't always know about. So I feel you.
Yeah, but. So.
Hey, I think everyone on your channel knows about the girl on the street.
Exactly, right? All right. Well, heck, if you would watch your kids' YouTube channel,
because she was simping on him and he was simping on her. It was a simp fest.
It's funny because on Kevin's stream last night, they brought up the simping again.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, we had to look up what a simp was.
Yeah. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, it was actually really funny because I've never heard that term before, and then I was on Instagram and I saw on some girl's page she made a comment about simping, and I'm like, what the hell? This is a thing, I guess.
Yeah, like usually when I'm working in the advertising agencies, like I retired from that, you know all those terms because you're working on the young clients. You know all the terminology. And when I know, I was like, wait a second, now I feel old.
That's when I don't even know.
Not those on. This is the ×2 on this. These little slope things hurt my fingers.
I have this busted Boba Head helmet in front of me that I need to fix. My poor white Boba Head fit helmet.
Did you get the big brick built helmets?
No, that's what this one was. It was a smaller version with less studs. I built it in like the Darth Vader style helmet where it was like a little bit smaller. But I got the TIE Fighter one. I did like that one. But the Boba one I built myself on this small one. And I just broke it.
Yeah, because I seen the Iron Man one at Target tonight, and I sat there and I looked at it. And I'm like, do I want to do that? It looks kind of cool. I just want to build it once and see, how that build is.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I always want to try at least build something different once.
Yeah. I feel you. I would want to build that one myself too because it looks interesting. I'm just curious: are those eyes in there, the glowing eyes? Are they printed or are they stickers?
Oh yeah.
I'll just watch a review and find that out because that would upset me a little bit. But I hope they carry on the helmet. I like what they're doing with the helmet stuff and the bust things. I just, with time we'll perfect it like they always do. But I hope it just doesn't go away. The mosaics, I think, are kind of. I don't think they're going to be around that long.
You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know. People will buy them, but everything I see, people complain about having put them together. Like, I guess the build isn't the quality build, but it's something totally different. I mean, you got to know what you're getting into. I don't know. I see people complaining that there's just a bunch of studs that they, but it's a different kind of build.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually like the look of the Marilyn Monroe one.
Yeah, they all.
I'll get the Marilyn Monroe. I'll at least get one to start off with. I do want to have all four of them. I think that would look cool to have all four of them. But I'm like, man, that's $500.
Yeah. Yeah, that's marketing right there for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
What,
you know what they're doing.
What is this? B4C says, is this live? Is this real life? Yes, B4C. So welcome, Chris, to the stream. Man, this thing is so fragile. Every time you touch these corners, they fall off.
Yeah, until you.
So did your Cubbies win?
I have no idea if they've won yet or not. I'm guessing by the way that the neighbors were hooting and hollering. I'm guessing they did.
It's always good when the Cubs win.
They've been on a tear, though. They got a little break because the St. Louis Cardinals are very COVID-y, so they had to cancel that series.
Yeah, I'm hoping the NFL doesn't because look at the NBA is happening inside of a bubble and it's okay compared to most. It's Major League Baseball is having issues, so I just hope the NFL. I need some football.
Yeah,
and I'm a Raider fan. I'm used to them being horrible for the last 20 years, but I still need some football.
Yeah, so it should be interesting how these football games are going to be with no crowds or limited crowds or whatever we're going to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing. It's different. It's definitely strange, but especially a contact sport.
Because some teams just thrive on that crowd noise as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the adrenaline going, I'm sure it helps with the team, the players too.
I mean, even when I played young, I played football, and it definitely that helps. That definitely helps. Is the emotion part of it is half the game.
Because you get the crowds like in Kansas City where they got the loud stadium and this and that. And, that plays as a something for them. But
that's the one thing when I was working for the ad agencies, the football games like European football, soccer was. To see those fans and to see that experience was crazy. They are diehard, man. They get into it. That's a good time, a real good time. And I don't really like soccer, but those are some fans right there.
Yeah, that's one sport I never could get a hold of. It was the whole soccer thing. I understand that those fans are crazy.
Yeah, they're into it, man. They're passionate.
Just something just doesn't catch for me with that.
Yeah, I mean, soccer to us, American, we're it's not popular here, but it's crazy when you see it. Even NASCAR. I'm not a big NASCAR fan, but when I worked for all those marketing agencies, obviously NASCAR sponsorships, that's the biggest sellout sport of them all. So we go to that too, and it's like when you get in that infield, it's totally different. And I'm not Southern. I'm a Yankee from up north, and I go down there, and it's a good time. Like they have a good time. It's pretty cool. And it's just for racing too, which is crazy because it's not a sport that you can just constantly watch. They're just going in a loop.
Turn left, turn left.
So it's, but it's each of them, the passion is there. It's a pretty fun time.
Yeah, yeah. That, like I said, that was one that I never really got into either. Was the whole NASCAR.
Yeah, it's unfortunately in my business it was huge, because of all the sponsorship stuff. But it is a good time when you're there live. It's fun.
Like hockey. I can't watch hockey on TV, but I love going to a live hockey game.
It's awesome. Nothing beats it, actually. Live hockey's real cool.
Yeah, just being there, just adrenaline of the crowd for a hockey game is crazy.
Yep. I'm curious what's going to be the first Lego convention to happen.
Yeah, well, a lot of people were trying to say that it was going to be
Philly.
No, it was going to be Alabama, but I don't see it happening.
I don't see anything till 2021 happening.
End of January.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's end of January. Yeah. Man, it's been so crazy how long. Like when COVID first started, everyone's like, "Oh, 2 weeks, a month, maybe." Look at us now.
Yeah. It was really weird how that all shaped up and came out. Oh, you're killing people.
Yeah.
I can't believe Jiggle's mom got mad about the simps on the street. Damn, Jiggle.
She was more upset that I didn't tell her about the simp down the street.
Like it just, it just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Hey, you know what you tell her? Simping ain't easy. Simping ain't easy.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to go down there. Oh yeah, the satisfying part of putting the actual tile on the top here. So yeah, it's starting to look all finished and awesome looking. Because I'm a tile guy. I am all my stuff that mock wise, I have to have it. I don't like stud showing too much.
No, I'm the same way. Definitely. Which, by the way, how's that boardwalk you were doing was awesome. How's that?
Yeah, I'm actually just waiting for parts to come in from the bricks and pieces order, which I ordered, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, that I probably won't see for another 6 weeks.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
I'll show you here in a second.
It's awesome.
I've added a little stuff to it. Nothing's really final on it. It's just kind of running through ideas of how I want it to look. And
you expanded on the bong shop all the way to the right, the head shop.
The head shop. Well, I just did the head on it somewhere. I haven't really expanded on the bong shop yet.
The tiki bar. I think it was cool.
Yeah. It's a tiki bar.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing around.
I know. It doubles as a head shop. It's all good.
It's after hours.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop.
Yeah, that's after after everything comes down to the beach at night, they go upstairs.
All right, getting there. Oh, look at that! I'm getting there.
My dog is sitting behind me with the poop eyes.
I called Lego to pay for my bricks and pieces order that supposedly already shipped, says Hope Castle.
Yeah, sometimes they take forever with that. It's all good though. I gotta let the pooch out to relieve himself.
All right. Boom. Check it out. And there it is. Boom. The third level of the corner garage.
Oh, that's cool. That's very
done.
That's a nice modular. That's a big modular.
I actually feel like I'm missing part of the modular since they, it's, kind of like cut off, right? Usually the modulars are nice and square. Yeah. So you get a lot more brick, I feel.
Yeah, but it's a corner. It's a corner, so they had to.
Yeah. So I like the design of it. I just feel like I'm not getting a full modular out of it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm missing a corner of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, here, let me grab that mock here real quick. Get them playing on scooch that your eyes out of the way.
Oh yeah, that thing's awesome.
So yeah, I'm waiting for tiles for the boardwalk.
Yeah, that thing is so cool.
But yeah, I got the table set up at the top. Stairway to go up there, and got some greenery around the.
Are the railings a bunch of those black like four stud wide railings, or is it each little parts and you just put the top on?
No, it's the 4 railings, but if you look close enough, when I filled in different spots, I took the single spindles and mixed it in there.
That's awesome. I love that.
But yeah, that's going to be the very front of our addition, because we're putting on a second table to our city.
Yeah,
and I'm doing like an ocean front for the front of the whole city.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's so cool. That's awesome. It looks just like any boardwalk I ever went on as a kid.
All right, but we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks everyone for coming. Oh, yeah, all the left sharks. Hey, Lisa, those are all Haley's left sharks that we did a trade on.
Yeah, that was cool. They were going up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to thank everyone for coming here tonight. Thanks, Stutzius, for coming in here and having some lively chat. It was good chatting with you and some of all that cool stuff. So
thanks for having me.
Thanks for everyone that's popped in and out of the chat here tonight. Thank you for tuning in for another Let's Chat Wednesday. I believe next Wednesday will be another chatless, another chitless chat. Chitless chat. So it'll be just me again next Wednesday. So guys, tune in for that. And
Jiggle's gonna be down the street again.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks everyone. Make sure, if you guys haven't, make sure we have a shop, a merch shop in the link below. Make sure to go and order yourself some Brickhead family gear. We do have coffee cups back in stock. So if you guys want to go, I ordered a Ghost Frickin' Talking coffee cup today. So make sure to go out and get that. Make sure to also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. There's a Twitter out there, but I don't know what's even on there anymore. So Twitter's dead. Anything else that you guys want to say? Anything you guys need to plug? Or
that was very boomer of you.
Very boomer of me.
I always said, like, my mother's name is Karen, and she's a real boomer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't even know what a simple. I didn't know what a simple was. So I'm very much a boomer.
Hey, I learned it with you. I learned it right there with you.
We had to go to the newsroom. So if you guys have not, make sure to check out Ghost Frickin' Talking. That is our sister channel. Is also a podcast for ghost and all the spooky stuff. And we get a little bit more adult on there. So cover the children's ears. So all right, guys. Until next week. Do you want to say it? Huh?
Brick time is family time.
Brick time is family time. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And time for the lights to go out.